Let's try this for the third time. This week's theme in comics is mystery. Ooh, ah. Without further ado, let's talk comics. This week I read two different comics for two incredibly different audiences. I read Black Stars Above, which is deemed a cosmic horror by Previews World, which I buy. I'm totally picking up what they're putting down. And I also read Mr. Wolf's Class, Mystery Club. It's for kiddos, but it was so cute and so awesome. And I picked it up because the author, Aaron Steinke, I'm sorry if I'm saying your last name incorrectly, I had heard such wonderful things about his comics and all of it was true. So I just enjoyed that very much. But we're gonna start with Black Stars Above. Now I picked up this comic because I just couldn't resist the cover. Every week I walk into Floating World Comics, located in 400 Northwest Cooch Street here in Portland, and I just check out the new stuff wall. You know, I talk to, usually it's Jason and Rachel working. This week it was Jason and Wally working, and I chat with them and I poke around, and I saw this and it was just so beautiful I couldn't deny it. Now I'm a big space nerd myself. I was in the astronomy club in high school, so I'm not wearing my glasses, but if I were, I'd push them up on my nose. But this comic was a mystery from beginning to end. It was really incredible, it was really thrilling, and it was also beautiful on the inside, so I'm really excited to read issue 2. It starts off with an unnamed male character in sort of a desolate place. He's just chilling by himself. That's a joke because it's cold where he is. And he writes in his journal, which is the narrative that pushes his story along, and he hasn't seen another living thing for some time. He runs into a pack of lynx, you know, like the cat. And then things get a little weird from there. He traps one and he's gonna like kill it, but then it gets weird, inky Coraline eyes, and it's gonna be a big no from me. I don't like that, it's creepy. And then his narrative sort of ends in black. And then we get to meet who I'm gonna call Eulalie. It might be Eulalie, but I'm gonna say Eulalie. I pronounce a lot of stuff wrong, so just harb. I'm sorry. Anyway, you meet Eulalie. It's 1887. She is the daughter of a fur trapper and her family's kind of suffering. The trade isn't doing as well as it used to, and she is sort of restless with being the daughter of a fur trapper and also just sort of the everyday life that kind of thing brings. And she's also writing in her diary, and that's also the narrative that pushes us along. Of course, there's dialogue between her and her family members. She actually has to go and help her grandfather, who tells her a story about how he lost his leg. He says that he lost it in the Green Ribbon, which is the forest above them, and that, you know, while he was there, some really creepy things happened to him. And she sort of writes it off as prejudice, that she thinks that her grandfather is prejudiced against the people or the things that might live in that area. And all Eulalie wants to do is go see things. She's a small town gal, and as a small town gal myself, I can relate. When Eulalie gets to go into the city, which she's very psyched about, to do some trading and get some supplies for a storm that's coming. This big ominous storm, right? And she meets a very strange stranger, okay, who has this package. He offers her money to deliver the package past the forest, so going very far north. Yes, into that forest that her grandfather said took his leg. And of course, she agrees because it's a lot of money, and also her alternative is to stay home and be married off to a boy she doesn't know to help her father get a better job. And she is a bit of a contrarian, so shout out to my girl, and she doesn't want to do that. So she packs up her stuff, leaves in the night with the package, and as soon as she gets into the forest, things get a little weird. The wind is whipping, it's snowing really hard, and it's sort of sounds like there's something in the wind, like a sound in the wind. And then all of a sudden, the package starts talking to her. And if that wasn't weird enough, that stranger told her to let the black stars guide her, which of course seems like something that shouldn't be a thing. Stars aren't black, that's the whole point about them. But you saw the cover of this comic and things just aren't quite as they seem. And all the props to Eulalie, because I would have bounced after the package started making this weird tech, tech, tech noise to me because I am a chicken. But she sets up camp, she gets into a tent, and then she opens the box. And there's something powerful inside the box. And at this point, it's not clear whether she's gonna have to protect that, if it becomes part of her. It does have something to do with the weird inky eyes of the lynxes, and so I'm just really curious where this story is gonna go, if it continues that sort of theme of like the idea of like otherness and prejudice, like the grandfather had of the things that live in the north and in the forests and stuff. And what Eulalie's role is going to be in this, because I don't know, I'm just very endeared to her character. She's very headstrong, and I thought that was really cool. And I think she's going to probably meet up with the guy from the beginning of the comic who is clearly north somewhere. And then what about this storm that's coming? This comic really mixes a lot of creepy, sort of unsettling horror images, and also it's 1887, so there's no internet, so that's scary enough for me. I'll definitely read the second issue of this comic, which I don't say a lot because I do this show, and I read like one issue and then I want to go on to the next one because I have this show and I have a lot of time to read things in my spare time. And when I do, I make bad choices. Like I'm rereading Twilight right now. I know it's really off base, but anyway, pick up Black Stars Above. It was really good. I can't wait to wait. It was really good. I can't wait to read the second one. I'm really enjoying it. So if you like horror comics, this is definitely like a subtle kind of horror. So far, there hasn't been any like real aggressive body horror or like gore or anything, but definitely a psychological ride, and I'm really enjoying it. Now, on to our second book. This was definitely a light read. It was so fun. It's Mr. Wolf's Class Mystery Club, which is the second, I believe, the second Mr. Wolf's Class that has come out, and it is so darn cute. Now, this comic is for kiddos, and it follows the students in Mr. Wolf's class, and it's going to be one of their birthdays. Her name is Randy. I think she's a naked cat, and I love naked cats. It's so darling and so charming. And as soon as I was done reading it, I immediately recommended it to like all of my coworkers who have children so they can enjoy it together, because I think that it's just such a beautiful, wonderful thing. It totally transported me back to the age when like you're friends with all the kids in your class, and like you can't wait for your birthday and you invite everyone and everything's just so fun. And kind of the point of this comic is they create this little mystery club where they're like going around and they're interviewing experts to try and figure out these mysteries. And that's kind of like what I do for my job, except I'm not like a cute animal. I'm just a subpar human. I don't know. I can't rant and rave about this comic enough. If you have a kid in your life who's like just getting into reading or, you know, loves like graphic novels, I can't recommend this enough. It's so darn cute. And it was so diverse. So like all of the characters are, of course, animals, but you see different kinds of family structures in this comic, and you also get to see like different types of characters. So, like one of the little characters, she wears a hijab, and I just think that's such a cool way to sort of interject like individuality and also like acceptance into a kid's book, which I love. And also, of course, it teaches lessons about like friendship and patience and Venn diagrams and space and like all sorts of stuff like that. So I really loved this. If you have a kiddo in your life who likes to read, I would pick this up for them. It was so wholesome and so lovely to read, especially after reading that creepy comic, which was just like a little unsettling. And all I have to say about Mr. Wolf's Class, besides read it, it was great, is long live the rats. I love the rats, and you'll learn about the rats in here too. So that's all I had for you this week. It's a little bit of a short week, but you know, I'm tired and busy, and I know that you all are too. And sometimes when you're tired and you're busy, you just want to read one comic, and you want to like read a comic for kids, because it just cleanses your palate and makes you remember that the world is a good place and friendship and love exist, and it's just so lovely. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. I really appreciate it. If you didn't see, earlier this week I uploaded a trailer reaction to the new Sonic trailer. He looks way cuter, which is great. And I sat down with one of my coworkers and we chatted about it. Now there are some technical issues with the audio, but I want to start doing more stuff like that. So if you have any ideas about different things we should talk about or react to, video games or movies or anything else, like let me know, the shows or whatever. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week, same-ish time, same place. And until then, this has been KGW's Comic Book of the Week.